Hello everyone, and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is July the 18th, 2024. And I want to welcome all of you. I am so happy to have you here with me. And if you are a newcomer, I hope that you will subscribe and come back to see me again. And for all of you, I appreciate any thumbs up and especially comments. I love responding to your comments, so please leave one down below. So we have a number of things to do again today. We are continuing on with our Christmas in July, and I'll get to that very quickly. But first, I always start with what I am wearing, and you saw this just, I think, 2 weeks ago. This is the Tuttle sweater, and I think I will leave a link for it down below again this week. And I just wanted to show you up real close that this stitch going around here is a variation of the tutorial I did for you last week, which was the double cross stitch. This one happens to be 3 doubles and then crossed. So it could be called the triple cross stitch in my way of calling them. But anyhow, it is very, very similar to what I showed you last week. And I'm really happy that you seem to be enjoying the tutorials, and you will get, again, another tutorial at the end of this video. So I am going to start off right away with Christmas in July. We've already opened 6, and today we're going to open 3 more. I'm going to get them all out here. And next week we finish it, and we have an extra special Christmas present to open along with the mini. So here is number 7. This one is loose, so it's going to come off on its own. Oh, before I open this, I need to bring you up to date. This is what we have so far. And it is working on a very nice, I would say it's going to make a great fall gradient. So I have to think the colors are going to continue on from these. I'd like to see a nice golden brown in here next. So what is next? Ooh, a green. Fall, yep, fall color. I might have thought we'd get brown before green, but that's okay too. Let me get a few pins out here. So we'll add this to the board. I think I've mentioned this already. They feel very, very nice. They feel nicer than a merino nylon blend. Makes me think there's something else in it. So that's number 7. Then we have, again, there's some of this confetti stuff in there. Then we have number 8. And it's tied tighter. I don't think this gradient is going to have any blues and purples in it. It's going to be, I think, pretty much all fall related. So here is number 8. Ooh, now that is a very pretty teal. I really do like that color. Once again, we will put that on the board. I think what I might do is look for a neutral color once I see all the colors, cream or brown or beige, and just do a fairly plain bias scarf or bias wrap and put the neutral colors in between. I really like this color. And finally, number 9. Again, it's fairly tight. Number 9. And find somebody would like to do a mini Advent exchange with me, and I think that would be a lot of fun. So here is number 9. Oh, it is blue. Surprises me. And that is a pretty, like, I would say close to a denim blue. Nice. So we still have 3 more to go next week to see how this finishes up. I really like these 2 that I just opened, and I think this was another one of my favorites. I could make something out of just those 3 colors. I really like them. So there is 9 minis so far, and remember, this is from Smash Knits. I don't remember if I put it in the box last week, but I will definitely make sure it's in the comments this week. You might be interested in getting one of their advents for this coming fall. So once you know, I like solids much, much better than the really busy ones that make stripes. Now, if you're into making socks, I think those are great, but I don't make socks, so I kind of like the tonals. These are really nice. Great. So that's Advent taken care of. I'll put that aside for now. And like I said, we will finish it up next week. So the other thing we want to do this week, one of the 2 things, is we want to look at my EFA haul. EFA, for those of you that are new to my channel, is Expression Fiber Arts. This wall of yarn is all Expression Fiber Arts, and I have separated it into the different yarn bases. So like this is Oasis Fingering, this is Moonlight, what do they call this? Moon Gleam Fingering. This one down here you can't see, but I have a lot of pearlescent, and so on. Each section is a different kind. That behind there is Cash Silk Sock. Well, my brother goes to Florida for 6 months in the winter, and Expression Fiber Arts is in North Carolina, and shipping can be very expensive. Now, I know that the largest amount of my viewers are in the US. So if you order probably 2 skeins, I believe it's $50. Might be more now, but I know it was $50. $50 gets you free shipping. Well, if I order 1 or if I order 5 or 6, it costs me almost $26, and that's US, and $25 US is about $36 Canadian. So the exchange is so high right now. It's over 40%, but I just read an article saying that it looks like by the fall it's going to come down some. I can hardly wait. So I have not been ordering anything from the US except Expression Fiber Arts, because I really, really love their yarn. They have so many bases to choose from, and oftentimes they bring in a base for a limited time and then it goes out. Might come back next year. They bring in colors that don't last forever, and some colors you just can't resist. Not that I need 1 more single skein of yarn at all, but this is kind of my hobby, both the crocheting and the yarn collecting. So this is my yarn collection, and this is what I enjoy to do. So anyhow, my brother was down for a visit last week, and he brought the yarn that I ordered during the winter and had sent to him. He's very kind to bring this large amount of yarn across the border for me. So we're going to start looking at the yarns that I bought during the winter. And some of them I had specific items in mind. Some of them, it was just yarn that I really liked. Now, they had a special on called affirmation fingering. And this affirmation fingering is said to be 100% wool. And again, I believe this is remnants of the yarn left on the machines and on the floor and everything and gathered up, so they can't tell you specifically what yarn it is. It definitely feels like wool, but is definitely also scarfable. Yeah, more scarfable than the last one I told you about. Now, I ordered this in a few different colors. It was on, I think, a very good price. So I ordered enough. I'm thinking I would like to make a sweater out of it. It is fingering. And I really like this blue. I know I ordered more than one blue, but I don't know what other colors. And it has 365 meters or 400 yards in the 100-gram skein. And I think at some point I'm going to make a color block sweater, or maybe I'll do squares. I'm not really sure, but I think it would make a sweater, and along with the other colors. Now, you know that I made a shawl a little while ago that was in crema sock with the blue stripes throughout the busy Calliope, I think it was. And I didn't have very much crema sock, maybe 2 or 3 skeins. And I found when I worked with the crema sock that I really liked it. So I decided I wanted to add a little more to my collection. So I got these skeins of crema sock. We'll start with the plain colored, and I'll tell you about it first of all. Crema sock is 70% superwash merino and 30% silk. It has 320 meters or 350 yards, and it has a very high twist. I don't know if you can see the twist in there. It's not the same as pearlescent. Pearlescent is 50-50 merino and silk. This feels different, but when you work with it, the item feels really nice. It does have a silky texture to it. So I got this color, and I got these two solids or tonals. I don't know if they change that. Yeah, they do change. And I thought these would be really pretty together. Now, I also think I have another crema sock. Oh no, I guess that was the one I used, the one that had these colors in it. But I like those together. So I have a feeling I'm going to probably use them together. Then I also got this other one, and I got 2 of it. Oh, by the way, the color name of this one is Laguna. And the color name of this one is Fuchsia Glow. That's one of their more popular colors. And this one is called Full Moon Forest. Now, actually, it would go with these, I think. Definitely would go with this one. And I got 2 of these. Now, whether I'll put these 2 together or whether I'll put one with this and one with this, I don't think this color goes with it as great. And I still really like this combination. So that's the crema sock that I got. Then I got a couple of Twisted Tweed Sport, and I only got these because I have a number of Twisted Tweed Sports in various colors, and I'm thinking of making a sweater with them. I don't know if I'll do striped or blocked or what, but I thought I would like to have a nice neutral to go with them. So this is Twisted Tweed Sport, and it is 42% merino, 43% superwash merino, and 15% Donegal, which gives you those neps, the tweedy spots in there. And it feels very nice. And it has 351 meters or 384 yards. And this one is called Sea Gray. And I did make something in it, and I really, really liked it. And in fact, I think one of the more recent patterns that EFA has come out with, the crocheted shawl, uses Twisted Tweed Sport. And I'm thinking I'm going to use possibly these colors with this gray. I also have one that I would call aqua or sea foam that I think would go with it as well. Then I bought this kit. They put together kits to save you worrying about what goes together, and I bought this kit that is Cash Silk Sock. I really, really like their Cash Silk Sock, and I have done a review on it in the past. You can find it in one of my older videos. Now, this one is called All Tied Up Hues, and Cash Silk Sock is 75% superwash wool, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. And it says in the whole package of 3, which I'll pull out in just a second, that there is 1,230 yards. There's 410 yards per skein. And here are the 3 that go together. They don't give them individual names, just the kit. Now, I really like these 2 together. This one, I'm thinking I might even use it alone. I don't know. We'll see. I just liked, it was on sale. I'm almost positive. I don't buy too many kits anymore. I did before, but I don't anymore. Because there's usually one that I don't like real well. I love the colors in this. I love those browns, and there's some teal or aqua, but I'm not sure I like it with those 2. So I may find myself a brown or even something that is this color and put with it. So that's Cash Silk Sock. And it is what it says, Cash Silk. Cashmere and silk. So I'll put that back in the bag. Then I was playing with colors to match up together, and I have some allure fingering. They don't offer allure fingering very often, but they had it available this past winter, so I ordered these 3 colors, thinking they would go well with the kit that I already have, but now that I look at it, I think I like that kit by itself. These 3 colors would go good together, I think. And let me tell you about allure fingering. It's 100% mulberry silk. But these are smaller skeins. I think you can see they're smaller. They are a little bit cheaper too. It's 100% mulberry. There's 200 meters or 218 yards. So I have these 3, which is 654 yards. I think I could make something. Let's get that together before it comes apart. And maybe I would have some leftovers. The other kit has 6 skeins in it. It'll make a really good size shawl. But anyway, I ordered those 3. This one is called Sterling Silver. This one is called I Love a Rainy Night. And I love navy. Good color. That's probably my second favorite shade of blue. I really like it. Well, it reminds me of sapphire. And this one is called Musing. And you can see the tonality in that one. It does change colors, whereas the navy doesn't, and neither does the gray. But those are really, really pretty. And I don't know if I have any other, I don't think I have any other allure, but those 3 would make something nice. Okay, another thing I ordered, and this was a mistake. I have some of EFA's Restore Fingering, and it is, again, one of those things where it's a mixture of yarns, and again, they are odds and ends. They're like a recycle kind of thing, but it has 36% alpacas, 37% wool, and 37% viscose. And I had a number of skeins of it in fingering, and I was thinking I could use a little bit more. I'm not sure what I'm going to make, whether it be a sweater or make a great blanket. And so they were having a sale. I thought they were sort of moving it out to make room for new yarns. And I thought, well, I'm going to get it while they have it on sale. And so I bought a few colors to add to what I had. And I'll show you the colors in a minute. This has 200 meters and 219 yards, 100 grams. And what does that tell you? It's not fingering. Fingering would have like 400. It turned out I was ordering DK. So I did get a few of these 3 colors, and I have enough to put them together and make something. But I really thought I was getting the fingering. I wasn't paying close enough attention, and it turns out I got DK. So if I'd really been paying attention, I probably would not have ordered the DK because I didn't need another different base. But those things happen, and at least I ordered enough of it to make an item. I didn't just get 1 or 2, and what do you do with that? So that's the Restore DK. Is that another skein there? Yeah. Oh no, I did get a Restore Fingering. I might have ordered this in a different order. Same color. And you know, the weights of them are fairly close. If I have too much or not enough of one base, I may try combining them. We'll see. That's fingering. All right, moving on. I got a couple Oasis fingering. You know how I like Oasis, and this is my Oasis right here. And I wanted a few different colors. And again, these were on sale. They may even have been oopsies. I often get the oopsies because I never see anything wrong with them. It's probably just not meeting their standard for the dye lot. So this Oasis, and by the way, Oasis is 50% camel, 50% mulberry silk, has 457 meters and 500 yards. This color is called Grace. And I didn't have a pink one, I don't think, quite this color. And then I ordered this one, a great neutral, and it's called Autumn-esque. I don't know that it looks autumn to me, but late autumn, almost winter. You see there's a little bit of tan, grays, charcoals, A very, very neutral, very pretty. I really like that. And I thought I would like to try their Beacon DK. They talk about it a lot and how nice it is. So I'm confused here. So I got a little bit of their Beacon DK in what's called June Alexandrite. That apparently is their most popular color. Now, Beacon DK is 25% baby camel, 25% mulberry silk, and 50% lyocell. Again, because it's DK, 228 meters, 250 yards. And here it is. And I have to tell you, it feels quite nice. Very, very nice. And I got 2 skeins of it so that I can make something of a decent size. I might just make these by themselves or possibly put a gray with it. You can see there's charcoal in there, and it's definitely got purples. Every base they dye this on, the color is slightly different. Sometimes you see a dark bluish too, but mostly I guess it's this gray and purple. I think that will be very pretty. Now, this reminds me of their Luster Sport, and I got some Luster Sport, and I have a reason for getting it, and I'll get to that in a minute. So that's their Beacon DK, and I don't use a lot of DK, but I do like that and might get some more. Then I got another Cash Silk sock simply because of the color. I believe it was on sale. It's black tulip, but it is a very, very dark purple, and in some places it looks almost charcoal. I really like that. And this is another Cash Silk sock called Lost in Translation, and it has, put that over there, it has burgundies and charcoal. But again, Cash Silk sock I really, really like. And finally, not finally, I have one more thing after this, but this is the last single one. I bought this simply to try it. Because I had the crema fingering, I decided to try crema worsted. And I got one that is neutral. I have a feeling I'm going to be buying one more skein of crema worsted just to make something a little bit bigger. I think this is enough. It's enough for a hat, but I don't generally make hats. So I need another one, and maybe I'll put them together and make a cowl. And crema worsted is exactly the same as the crema fingering, 70 merino and 30 mulberry, but it has less yardage, of course. 175 meters, 192 yards. Maybe you can tell me, is that enough, 192 yards to make, with worsted, to make a cowl? I think I need over 200. All right. So the last thing I bought, and I bought a fair, whoops, there's something else hiding back here. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. Alpaca Silk DK. I ordered one of those, and again, this is in my top favorites. I would say Alpaca Silk DK, Cash Silk sock, Oasis fingering, my top 3. There are a few others at upper top too. Tawny Owl Alpaca Silk DK is 50% baby alpaca and 50% mulberry silk. And this is dreamy. It's 210 meters or 230 yards. And isn't that a really nice fall color? And finally, now it's finally, I ordered a fair bit of Luster Sport, and I'll just show you one before I show you the others. Luster Sport. It has a similar look to it as the Beacon DK. But Beacon DK, as I said, is baby camel, mulberry silk, and lyocell, whereas this is 50% merino and 50% lyocell, more lyocell, a natural product, a vegan, what they consider a vegan product, no animal fiber in it. It has 361 meters, 395 yards. This color is called Foreshadow. This is going to be my neutral. Now, I have a pattern I've been wanting to make for a while, and it's a pattern by Mariana Mueller, and you know I did a review on her earlier in the year. I'm going to put a picture of the pattern that I want to do up here. I've had it since last year when I went gathering patterns that use minis, advent calendars. Now, that particular pattern uses one neutral, and I think it's 15 other colors. Now, if you have an advent calendar, you usually have 24, except that when you get farther out, it uses more than what's in a single mini most of the time. Most Advent's mini calendars, if they're 20 grams, have 87 yards, or depending on the base they've used, they could have 92. Well, it takes 100 and something, I think 116 or something like that when you get out to the wider parts. So I decided I had quite a few colors, which I will show in a minute, quite a few colors of Luster Sport, and they have 395 yards. So I would have plenty when I got out to the wider. Now I had minis and regular skeins of Luster. So I thought I'll start with the minis. And they also had 50-gram minis, which gives you a little more. And then I would get some regular ones. So I ordered a couple of these because these are going to be my neutral color. I think one skein's enough, but it doesn't hurt to have another. And I also ordered these. I couldn't decide. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with the lighter color, but I do have the dark charcoal as well. And this, by the way, is called Typewriter. But I ordered these three because I needed that many more colors to go with what I already have. So this one is Pashmina. This one is Fisherman. And this one is Panorama. And these are all Luster Sport. And I also have a box of others. And as I said, some are mini skeins, and a couple of them are regular skeins. And I'm going to, what I did was I took all of these yarns, the ones I already have, and added on the 3 new ones, and I took a picture of them. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to stay with this order. I'm probably going to mix these 3 in amongst the other ones, but I didn't want to confuse myself before I showed them to you. So I'm going to use that palette of colors along with these light gray ones, I'm pretty sure. And I am going to make that, I think it's called Riptide pattern by Mariana Mueller. So you can see why I had to get quite a few of those, and I'm going to keep them in this box all together. So that is my yarn haul from Florida. More than I need, but I'll slow down now during the summer. Oh, and one other thing that I got in that order was some of these. They were clearing them out on sale, little bobbins. They're wooden, and they have a pattern in them. and they're used for wrapping your leftover yarn. They even have a little slit in them to hold the yarn. I bought a couple packages of those. So that's my big winter haul from Expression Fiber Arts. I neglected to mention that I did complete one thing this past week. I completed number 6, my 6th stitch, and I'm going to get ready to, excuse me, to make that video tutorial probably within the next week. Now at this point, I would answer a few questions, and I'm going to make this quick because it's already taken me longer than I thought to show you that yarn. And I have a couple of questions that are longer questions. I'm going to save them for next week. We don't really have too much to cover next week, so I can take time to answer a few more questions. So I'm going to only answer a couple, 2, maybe 3 short questions this time. The first one is, what should I do first? Here's a question that fits right in with today. How big is your stash? How big is my stash? I call it a collection. How would I answer that question? As you see, I have one of these storage units here that's 3 by 4 and it's full. I have a storage unit over here that are smaller. I would say to those of you that have not been here, you could go back to when I did a video where I showed my yarn room. And it was when it was nice and tidy, and I showed this storage unit, and then I have another storage. These exact storage units, I have 6 of them on a cabinet kind of thing over on that wall. And this is my hand-dyed yarn in here. Out in the hallway, I have another one of these that is bigger. It's one taller, and I think it's 2 wider, and it's non-hand-dyed yarn. It's things from the big box store. I know there's Lion Brand in there. There's things from Hobie in there, Hobie, however you say it. I have yarn from Cascade Yarn, a variety of different kinds of yarn in that out there. And then I have a couple of boxes of odds and ends, I don't know what. On the other side of this wall, I have cubes. I have a shelving unit with cubes like this. And it's a mixture. It does have a couple of cubes of EFA yarn. For example, they went out of, although they have some right now, they brought it back, Sparkle DK. And I have a couple of cubes of Sparkle DK, and I have a couple of cubes that is all Ravenswood yarn. And then I have sweater quantities of things from Lion Brand and I think Mary Maxim. I have odds and ends in that unit on the other side of the wall. That's how big my stash is. Along with that, the person asked, what's my favorite project to make? And do I like, I'm not sure if they asked, do I like making amigurumi or why don't I? Somebody said, you know, it's not that hard, Judy. You could do it. Probably. I don't make amigurumi because I don't like working with little fidgety things, having to sew the pieces together and having it stuffed properly, and it's just not enjoyable to me. It's just not my thing to do. I think amigurumi are as adorable as can be. I've seen some I really like that almost inspired me to make things, but I don't want to sew pieces together, and that's probably why I don't make blankets very often either, because I don't want to sew things together. But that is going to change this winter. And my favorite project to make, I would have to say, I love making shawls. And I have so many shawls in my queue in Ravelry, and not necessarily simple, straightforward. Some of them are quite complicated, but you know, one day I'll get around to them. There are so many different types that I want to make. And recently, EFA has come out with quite a few nice shawls using 2, 3, 4 skeins of yarn. And I have them in my queue to get to very soon. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I still have quite a few questions. It may even take the next 2 weeks. But next week we are going to finish opening the Advent calendar, and we're going to open the Christmas present, because next week's the 25th. And then I'm going to spend time answering questions. That's what I'll do the bulk of the time next week, is answer the rest of these questions. So I hope you'll be back next week to see the rest of the Advent, to see how that Advent finishes up. But right now, I am going to turn it over to tutorial number 4 in our stitches for the summer cow. So until next week, happy hooking. Today we're going to do the tutorial on the spiked sedge stitch. And as you notice, we have a little bit of a different setup here. And I have a new yarn and a new hook, hoping they'll slide a little better than the last one. So here is a sample of the spiked sedge stitch. I think I have it backwards. You can see that it has texture. It's quite a thick stitch. It makes a thick fabric. I think this would be great for a blanket, a nice warm scarf. I think I would even consider using this pattern to make a poncho, either squares that you put together or the 2 rectangles that you put together. I may consider doing a poncho out of this. So that's what the spiked sedge stitch looks like. And we're going to, today I'm using a different yarn. I'm using Lion Brand's Pound of Love. Now this is a number 4, and I am 4-weight yarn, and I am using my number 5 millimeter hook. Now you have to start, of course, with a chain, and your chain has to be a multiple of 3 plus 2. So I have done 14 chains here, and I hope the focus is good. I had to redo this because the focus wasn't the best. I think this is okay. So I have 14 chains, and your first stitch is going to go in the second chain from the hook. You don't count the one on the hook, and we are going to go in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do a single crochet. For beginners, this might be a great pattern. You'll be able to practice all the basic stitches. So let's pull up a hoop loop. You've got 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through both. Then you are going to do a half double crochet in the same stitch. So yarn over, go into the same stitch as before, pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's a half double crochet. And then finally, we're going to do 1 more stitch in there, and we're going to do a double crochet. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So all 3 stitches, all the 3 basic stitches went into that chain space. Okay, proceeding on, we're going to do the same thing all the way across. We're going to skip 2 chains and go in the 3rd. And again, we're going to do a single crochet, a half double crochet, and a double crochet. I marvel at the people that can keep their hands in one place. All right, and continue. Skip 2 stitches, go in the 3rd one, and do a single crochet. Whoops, a single crochet. Go in the same space and do a half double crochet, and in the same space a double crochet. Whoops, I did something wrong there. Let's go back. I think I took too many loops there. Okay, skip 2, 1, 2, go in this space, whoops, and do a single crochet, a half double crochet, and a double crochet, all in that same space. Now, after you've done that, you'll notice that you still have 3 chains left. You're going to skip 2, and you're simply going to do a single crochet in that last chain. A single crochet, that's all. And that brings you to the end of the 1st row. And that's the base you need to work into for the rest of the pattern. This pattern has a 1-row repeat, so it's pretty straightforward, but we had to do that row to set up the foundation to work on. So now you're going to simply chain 1, and turn your work, and you are going to go right back into the very first stitch, which was your single crochet from the previous row, and you're going to do a single crochet. Then you're going to do a half double crochet, and I'm caught up with my yarn. Let's get some yarn out here. I have a brand new ball. Okay, half double. And then here's where it changes from the 1st row. You're going to do a double crochet, but not here. You're going to go to the stitch below in the previous row, below that single crochet, and you're going to jump down and yarn over, pull up a loop, and be sure to pull it up a decent amount, even with the others, and then finish your double crochet. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. It's simply how I crochet. I move a lot. Okay, let's try it again. You are going to skip 2 stitches. That's your double and your half double from the previous row, and you're going to go into the single. You don't really have to count. You just look for the single crochet in the previous row. And you're going to go in there, whoops, go into the single crochet, do a single crochet, do a half double crochet, and then to get your spike, you're going to go below. So the stitch below, the one you're working in, is the stitch where you did all the work last time. This is below. So you're going to yarn over, go into that, pull up a loop, pull it up a little bit, and then do your double crochet. Double crochet. It'll work a little better when we get to the next row. So once again, we jump to go to the single crochet, do a single crochet, do a half double crochet in the same space, and then, then go to the stitch below where everything happened in the previous row. Draw up a loop through that stitch and pull it up a bit, and then do your double crochet. Once more, skip over to the single crochet. You can count 2 if that's easier for you. Go to the single crochet, do a single crochet, do a half double crochet, and then yarn over and jump down to the stitch below and pull up a loop. It's a little harder when you don't have much to hold on to. Pull up a loop and do your double crochet, and then you'll see you're at the last from the last stitch from the previous row. Skip 2, and in the end there is that first single crochet, and you're going to just do a single crochet. I want to make sure I get both loops and do a single crochet, end the row with your single crochet. And now you see your spike is happening now. I never like how things look off the beginning chain. So I'm going to do one more row with you so you can follow this and you'll see the pattern developing. So once again, we're only going to chain 1, turn our work, and there is that last single crochet we did, and we're going to go into that stitch with a single crochet and a half double crochet, and then once again we're going to jump down to the stitch below, which is down here, and pull up a loop and pull it up and do a double crochet. And then we will skip the 2 and go over the single crochet. Is always quite easy to see. We go in the single crochet and do a single crochet, do a half double crochet, and then we will look for the stitch below, and you can see it, there it is. You may have to pull it apart. When you get going, it gets, dense, but if you pull it apart, you can see directly below is the single crochet where you did all the stitches in the previous row, and you'll yarn over, go in that spot, pull up a loop and pull it up a bit, and then do your double crochet. Again, hop over, skip 2, go to your single crochet and do a single crochet, do a half double crochet, and then you pull it apart, you'll see right there below the single is the last one you worked in, and yarn over, go in there, pull up a loop, and do a double crochet. And I think we have one more to do. Again, skipping to the single, go in and do a single crochet. Oh, need some more yarn. Okay, I did a single crochet there. Now I will do a half double crochet in the same spot, and then I will look for right below. Don't be afraid to get your fingers in there, and there is the space I'm going in directly below. Pull up a loop and do a double crochet. And finally, you're going to skip those two and go to this last single crochet and do a single crochet. So there is actually 3 rows done, your base, and then 2 more rows. And you can see the pattern now developing. There are your spikes going down, and it looks the same in reverse on the other side. The spikes go the other way. Well, actually, every other row goes the other way, doesn't it? So there's spikes one way, spikes the other way. So there is the spiked sedge stitch. I hope you found that easy enough to follow and interesting. Try working out a sample of it. I have done my sample for the project I am going to do. Again, I don't have the ends tied in, but here is my, let's put it the right way. There we go. Here's my 8" by 8" sampler. So you can see it. Again, because it's in this very neutral color, maybe it doesn't show enough, but you can definitely see the spikes. And I have to tell you, this feels very nice. Now, I am using a sport weight, so that's a number 2, and it feels quite soft and actually heavy enough. I could make a sweater out of this stitch if I wanted a nice warm sweater. I could, again, even out of this weight, I could probably make a poncho or a blanket or a scarf. It would be very, very warm. So there is the spiked sedge stitch. Good luck with it.